Hello and welcome to my channel, the Irish Gypsy Psychic Tarot Reader. That's me, the Irish Gypsy. I'm going to be doing general monthly readings for each of the 12 zodiac signs for the month of November 2015. I will be using the Gilded Tarot deck as I love the vividness of the color and the detail of the imagery in these cards. I will be pulling 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week, with an extra card as an overall theme or general feeling of the month. These are general readings, and they may not apply the same or resonate deeply with everyone who watches them, although I hope that everyone who sees them gets something from them. If they don't resonate with you, I suggest you also check your rising and your moon sign as well to see if you gain some insight and clarity from that. If you're interested in something a little more in-depth than a general reading, you can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, which will give you a little more detail about myself, the services I offer, and my contact information, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. That's Maggie, the number 1, McGuire@gmail.com. And I would be happy to set something up with you. For those of you who will be watching and listening and subscribing to my channel, your support and your feedback are deeply appreciated and most welcome, as are your comments. So thank you so much for that. So let's get started. This reading is for Gemini for the month of November 2015. And my apologies for the lateness of these videos for the month of November. I've been caught up with moving, the holidays, and switching out computers. I promise they'll be out sooner for December. Now, I do shuffle my cards thoroughly before each and every reading, but I like to go through a last little bit of a shuffle while I'm actually recording with you. Gemini, what does the month of November 2015 hold for you? Gemini, the twins, the mirrors of the zodiac. Gemini, November 2015. Gemini, November 2016. I apologize ahead of time for any long pauses that might be in any of my readings. I sometimes have to stop and just study the cards to put together the feelings and impressions and messages that I get while I'm reading. As those of you who read understand, sometimes it comes in quickly and clearly, and sometimes it takes a minute or two to study it and put it all together for me. So Gemini, let's see what the month holds for you. For the first week, we have the Magician, accompanied by the 8 of Wands. For the second week, we have the Hermit, followed by the 7 of Swords. For the third week, we have the Ace of Swords, followed by the Strength card. And for the fourth week, we have the Lovers, followed by the 2 of Pentacles. And as your overall theme or general feeling of the month, I pull a card from the bottom of the deck, and you have the Justice card. Very interesting, Gemini. Now, as I'm sure you probably know, there's no definitive beginning and ending to the timeline of the cards. This reading represents the general situation or feelings or theme that you may be dealing with within the month of November, but it can also be something that begins at the end of October and goes into December a bit as well. So I'm getting first and foremost, Gemini, that this is a love reading. Although I have no idea who's going to be watching this video. It's going to mean different things to different people, I'm sure. But that's what I'm getting first and foremost. So let's get started. To begin, we have the Magician card, which is a major arcana card. And I might add, Gemini, that 5 of your cards in this 9-card spread are major arcana cards. Major arcana cards I like to think of, I just think of as fingers of God, so to speak, or whatever your spiritual foundation is. It looks like spirit or the divine is going to be playing a rather large part in your life this month. Outside forces coming in to affect changes that we are unable or sometimes unwilling to make in our own lives, things that we don't necessarily always have control over, except how we choose to deal with a situation or look at the situation. So beginning with the Magician card. The Magician card, the Magician is the guy that's got it all going on. He has come from a long background of study and practice and knowledge and has arrived at a place where he has all the knowledge and experience and practice to utilize all the tools of his craft, everything he needs to be able to work his magic, cast his spells, perform his craft. This is a person who is pretty in balance with himself and knows pretty much what to do with whatever situation comes in front of him. So in the tarot, this card represents someone who has everything that they need to work whatever situation they're facing. All the tools, all the knowledge, all the experience. Even if you don't think you do, this card says that you do. You have everything you need in order to make changes in this situation for the better. So it looks like you're coming into this situation in the month of November, and I feel it's a love relationship with everything you need to deal with it, change it, move on from it, fix it, whatever decisions you make in regards to this relationship. This card is asking you to have faith that you do. It's accompanied by the Eight of Wands. Wands being the element of fire, typically something fast moving. This card depicts 8 wands coming down out of the sky, headed towards the ground. It's a card that signifies a message coming in very fast or a situation coming in very fast. It's a card that represents change, movement, action, power. This is very much a movement-oriented card. Fire, air. So it looks like, Gemini, that you're coming into the month of November, perhaps at the end of October. You're coming into the month of November in a position where you're dealing with a situation or you're about to be dealing with a situation. I think at the beginning of November, since this video is a bit late, there's a situation that either has come to you or is in the process of coming to you, and it's moving very fast. It's something that's going to be happening very fast. It's going to be very sudden, and it's going to represent a lot of change for you within a relationship, I'm thinking. That's the feeling I'm getting from this. But it's also saying, and paired with the Magician, it's basically almost kind of a faith card, or a combination of this is telling you that whatever comes up in the situation that you're going to be facing, this relationship situation, you have all the tools that you need, the knowledge, the strength that you need in order to be able to deal with this. Now, in the second week, and when I talk about love relationships, Gemini, it doesn't necessarily have to refer to an intimate love relationship between a husband and a wife, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, that sort of mate. It could be a family member. It could be a very close friend, a best friend. It could even be a business colleague. Although I'm getting first and foremost, it's primarily a love relationship, a relationship that's established, or a relationship where you have a high degree of emotional connectedness. And now in the second week, we have the Hermit card, followed by the Seven of Swords. Now the Hermit card is another major arcana card. And this card represents a number of things. It shows an aged man on a path alone, with holding up a lantern, and he's looking down. He's looking at the path. He's seeking the truth. This card can also represent, and that's one of the symbolisms of this card, is a time spent perhaps in withdrawal or isolation or alone, while you're pondering something, while you're seeking answers for something, you're seeking clarification, you're trying to find a path, you're trying to find the way through something. This card can represent being alone, perhaps, and trying to understand why that is the case. If you're alone, not by choice, maybe perhaps someone has left you or broken up with you. You could fit on both sides of the equation in this reading, and we'll discuss that later. But so basically, in the second week, you find yourself in a place, or you're being encouraged to put yourself in a place where you um, perhaps withdraw a bit and think about this situation. Think about what it is that you need to, what clarification you need in order to be able to find the right path through this situation. For some of you, this is going to mean that you're finding yourself alone within a relationship. Perhaps there's a breakup, a temporary split up, a breakup of some kind, following so closely on the heels of the Magician and the Eight of Wands in the first week of November. It looks like a situation has come in very fast. Perhaps somebody has broken up with you, or you have broken up with someone, or temporarily separated. For the time being, you find yourself alone or feeling very much alone and seeking answers, seeking guidance, seeking clarification, seeking answers, trying to find the way. That card is accompanied by the Seven of Swords. Swords being the suit of thoughts, ideas, intellect, logic, ways of thinking. The element of swords is also fire or air. It can represent challenges, conflicts. The number 7 also represents, it's also a kind of a cerebral number. It represents assessment, reflection on something, reflection of motives, assessing situation. And it's the perfect card to accompany the Hermit, because that's exactly what the Hermit is doing. The Hermit is in reflection mode. He's trying to seek clarification on the situation. It looks like, Gemini, I'm getting this very strong feeling, and the cards are pretty clearly laid out. This is a pretty easy read in terms of, I mean, it's telling a very clear story. It looks like it looks like either the end of October, the beginning of November, you've come to a place where you've had some kind of breakup with someone, some kind of separation from someone important to you, someone you're in a relationship with. It looks like it happened very quickly, and it looks like you're finding yourself in a place in the first half of November or so where you're trying to figure out why it happened, whether you were the one who left or you were the one being left. And again, it's going to reflect differently for different Geminis who watch this. Some of you are going to be the ones who made the decision to leave, and some of you are going to be the ones who were left or were separated from. The Seven of Swords shows a man who is, it's kind of a shady looking card. It shows a man who's the thief card, really. A man who has come in and has taken up as many swords as he can and is skipping off with them. This is a card that can represent somebody taking something from you, you taking something from someone. It can represent actual theft, although in this reading I'm not getting anything of that sort. It's a card of being sneaky. It's also a card that can advise you that in a certain situation you may need to be very clever in the way that you go about, in the way that you're thinking about it, or the way that you're going about trying to deal with it. It's not necessarily a negative card. Everybody, especially in relationships, doesn't always operate with 100% openness. People often do things in secrecy, or behind closed doors. It's not necessarily a negative card. Paired with the Hermit, it could mean a couple of different things. It could mean that one of the things that you're thinking about on your way to seeking clarity about this breakup or separation, or potential breakup or separation, it could be advising you that you're going to have to be clever about how you walk your way through it. This is also a card, when it comes up in a relationship reading, that speaks of someone being cheated on or cheating on someone. And I think that's actually what it's pointing to in this reading. And I'm wondering if the breakup occurred because of infidelity in the relationship, um, or somebody was sneaky in the relationship, or somebody was deceptive or tried to take something away, or somebody came and took your loved one away from you. Um, and perhaps that you have to be very clever in how you go about this situation. Yeah, I'm getting a pretty even split on what this might be. I think that perhaps half of you are going to be the ones doing the walking away or thinking about doing the walking away, and half of you Geminis are going to be the ones who someone is either walking away from or potentially walking away from in this relationship. In the third week of November, we have the Ace of Swords, followed by the Strength card. Now, one of the reasons why I'm thinking that the Seven of Swords could possibly represent for some of you this breakup or this huge conflict or something that's coming up in your relationship. One of the reasons why I'm thinking that for some of you this might be because of some kind of infidelity, or your partner cheating on you, or you're cheating on your partner. Somebody's cheating on somebody, whether it's with another person or there's some kind of level of deceptiveness going on here. The Ace of Swords reveals all. Swords being the suit that represents thoughts, intellect, logic, ways of thinking. But the Ace of Sword is the ace that cuts through everything. It this is the this is the card that is the clarifier. This reveals the truth. Um, it's one of the few cards in the tarot deck that doesn't have people in it. The aces typically don't. But it doesn't even imply the presence of somebody. This is pure thought. This is pure truth. This is pure clarity. The Ace of Swords is a card of pushing away the BS and revealing what the real truth is. It's a clarifying card, and it's a card that seeks to clarify your way of thinking about something, something coming to light that changes perhaps the way that you are thinking about this relationship, the way that you look at this relationship. It's revealing, something's being revealed, and I think for some of you there's going to be some infidelity either on your part or your partner's part that's going to be revealed. Something's going to happen quite suddenly, and it's going to be revealed, and all of a sudden you're going to be seeing this relationship, seeing this person, or vice versa. This person's going to be seeing you in or this relationship in a completely different and much more clear and concise light. And like I said, I'm getting kind of an even split on this. So now the Ace of Swords is accompanied by the Strength card, and I think the message here is pretty clear. Is that it's going to take strength to be able to deal with this, but it's strength that you have. Um, and it's a particular kind of strength too. It's a quiet kind of strength. It's more of an inner kind of stable strength. This card is another major arcana card, and it shows a woman who has tamed the beast. She has tamed the lion. There is a chain around the lion's neck connected to her hand, but the chain is not tight. The chain is loose. She has tamed this lion more with gentleness and a quiet kind of inner strength than with any kind of aggressive force or violence. And I think what this card is telling me is that this is This is the kind of strength you need in order to be able to deal with this situation, and you do have it with you. And I think it's also the fingers of the divine telling you that they've got your back on this too, and that you're going to have help in dealing with this situation. I think this card is telling you that perhaps while you're working your way through um, this relationship breakup or temporary or potential separation, that you deal with this uh, with more of a quiet kind of strength. And that you try to be perhaps compassionate in how you approach it, or ask for compassion in how the person approaches you. I think that whatever the Ace of Swords reveals, it's going to be a bit of a shocker, and it's going to make a lot of things clear that were not clear before, or things that were hidden brought to light, and then it's just going to take, you're going to have strength in order to deal with this. You're going to have to kind of hang on to who you are inside, and also if you, especially with such a high percentage of major arcana cards, Gemini, I think also if you have a spiritual foundation or rituals or routines that you go through, also to use that as part of your foundation of strength and faith and endurance to get through this, because it looks like I mean, the ending isn't all bad, but it looks like you're going to have a bit of a struggle in the middle of the month. Some kind of, let's recap for a minute up to now. So it looks like you're coming into the month um, as the Magician, whether you know it or not, that there's a situation that's coming in. It's coming in very suddenly. Um, and the Magician card with that Eight of Wands is telling you that whatever the situation is in this relationship, that you have what it takes in order to be able to deal with, and that's backed up by the Strength card as well. When this situation happens, it looks like you're going to take some time to withdraw for a bit, to retreat, to try and find some clarification and a way through this situation, how to solve it, how to walk through it, perhaps whether you want to continue it, find a way to fix it or reconcile with this person, with the conflict in this relationship. For some of you, it's going to mean that you have to be clever in how you go about doing that. But for more of an even split of you, I think that what is going to be revealed quite quickly and quite clearly and quite suddenly is that there's some level of deception in this relationship. Someone's being sneaky, whether it's sneakiness with someone being unfaithful, someone cheating on their partner, whether it's you or your partner, or there's some kind of, somebody's not being upfront, and that's going to be revealed in a pretty quick and decisive way. The Ace of Swords is going to reveal that, and the cards are asking you to have strength in dealing with that, but not the kind of aggressive and certainly not violent strength, but in order to deal with it, use the strength that this woman has in taming the lion. You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. This is about a true inner kind of strength, and perhaps also a reliance on whatever your spiritual connection or spiritual foundation is. Now, in the last week of November, we have the Lover's card, which is a beautiful card. I told you it wasn't all bad. And the Two of Pentacles. Now, the Lover's card is another major arcana card. You really have them this month. I think the divine is also telling you that it has your back, and it's also cradling you through this situation too, and not to forget that. So the Lover's card depicts just that. It depicts a beautiful couple who are standing, almost waist deep in the water. Water being an emotional element as well. They are in the position of, it looks like they're in an uprising kind of position. and they are being bathed in the light from the heavens, which signifies a kind of a spiritual union between these two people, which is more than just a physical, tangible, sexual attraction that also happens between two people, the actual physical chemistry, but it represents the type of a union with someone that is connective on more than just a tangible level, more of a soulmate sort of connection. The Lovers is also a card of choice, and primarily in the beginning, in the early tarot decks, this card was referred to as the choice, and it depicted a man having to choose between two women. And perhaps that's what's going on here for some of you. Perhaps the deceptiveness, the sneakiness is actually somebody's cheating on somebody, whether it's you cheating on your partner or your partner cheating on you. Since this is your reading, I would have to say my first instinct would be that perhaps you are cheating on someone. It gets found out, and it's going to take a lot of strength to get through this situation, but you could just as easily be on the other side of this line as well. And I think the Lovers is referring to, I think it's less of a card of coming together with your soulmate and more of the original meaning of this card, which was making a choice. I think that, and that's underscored for me because it's accompanied by the Two of Pentacles, which twos being a card of balancing, duality, crossroads, choice. It shows a man who's pretty efficiently juggling two pentacles. And that's kind of what I'm picking up in this reading, Gemini. It looks like someone has been cheating with someone. Someone's being deceptive. Somebody's cheating on somebody. There's some high degree of deceptiveness that causes some kind of split, separation, breakup, or big fight, and potential breakup and separation. Um, and at the end of the day, and at the end of the month, towards the end of the month, um, somebody's going to either you're going to make an ultimatum to somebody, somebody's going to make an ultimatum to you. There's going to be some kind of choice that's going to be made here in regards to this relationship, or relationships. If you're juggling two different people, um, I think this reading is saying that it's time to make a choice. This situation has come to light, or it's coming to light, and you need to make a choice. Your partner needs to make a choice on how you want this to go. Whether you decide to reconcile, fix the situation, maybe talk about the problems that you're having in your relationship that's caused you to look for something outside, or that's caused your partner to look for something outside. Um, in any case, it looks like whatever these, if you're juggling two people or you're actually just trying to make the decision, for some of you it's going to be, this is a split or a potential split because of a breakup, and there's going to be some kind of decision making at the end whether to continue, reconcile, fix what's wrong, or whether to walk away from that. For others, this is going to be some other type of deceptiveness in this significant relationship. But again, the results at the end of the month are the same. You're going to find yourself in a position where you're going to need to make a decision about this and stop juggling, because indecision, I always say that decision making, making the decision itself and the time period that follows after making an important decision is not the hardest part. It's the indecision in trying to figure it out that's difficult. And the Hermit card is telling you to spend some time doing that, and spend some thought doing that. So the card that you got for the overall theme or general feeling of the month is the Justice card, which is another major arcana card. And it represents justice. Justice being blind, as the woman in this is blindfolded. She is the symbol of justice. She's holding the scales of justice evenly in her hand. And what this card is saying is, what this card says basically is that justice is blind, meaning that whatever the outcome is, it's going to be fair, and it's going to be based solely on the thoughts, actions, decisions, and choices of the people involved. So whatever the outcome is, of the decisions that are made. It's the outcome's going to be based on your decisions, your outcomes. It echoes the beginning card for the month, which was the Magician. You have everything that you need in order to walk through this situation. And I think your bit of retreat is going to clarify that for you. But you have everything that you need to make the right choice. Um, Justice is blind. It's going to depend the outcome, the results, and the consequences of what happens, the consequences of your decision. You have the ability, you know what to do. Um, if you take some time, as the Hermit is advising, uh, perhaps to tame some of the more volatile emotions about the situation, to really consider why you're in the situation, what you contributed to the situation, whether or not you're the one that's whose actions have led to this, or somebody else's actions have led to this. No relationship is ever one-sided. No breakup is ever one-sided. We all contribute. I think the Justice card is asking you also to take a look at that, um, and know that whatever decisions are made, the outcome is going to be based on your actions, your choices, your decisions, which you know what to do. You're the Magician. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. You know what the right thing is to do, even if sometimes the right thing is to walk away. Perhaps this is a situation where you were hurt in. Perhaps this is a situation where there's not going to be reconciliation, but that decision is going to be based on, is going to be different for different Geminis. But the Justice card is letting you know, and a cautionary piece of advice, that it's going to be based pretty much on you, on the people involved, on what you decide to do, and it will be fair. It's in the upright position, Justice, so it will be fair in what is invested in it. So Gemini, it looks like kind of an interesting month. Well, interesting. Looks like there's going to be some challenges in a rather important relationship for you, and there's going to be some difficulty dealing with it. But the theme in this reading, Gemini, is that the Magician card, the Hermit, the Strength card, Justice, it's almost saying that once you take a certain amount of the emotionality out of this, you know what to do. You know what actions and choices are going to be the right thing to do, which decisions is going to be the best for you, that you already know. Um, if you're the one that created the situation or contributed the most to creating the situation, this reading is saying you know what to do. The outcome's going to be dependent on exactly what you put into it. So it is kind of interesting, and I look forward to seeing what December holds for you, Gemini, and how this relationship plays out, whether you guys are able to come together um, and have a resolution about it going forward, whether it's together or apart. And I certainly wish you the best in this. I have a feeling that it looks like it's going to I was going to say I had a more of a feeling about the outcome, but I'm going to stick with my original. I think it's kind of evenly split as to who did what and what the outcome's going to be. I think that it's kind of 50-50 on how it's going to work out, because each of you are going to make different decisions about this relationship. Uh, so Gemini, I I wish you good luck in dealing with this. Stay clear with yourself, stay honest with yourself, stay true with yourself, stay true to what you know to be right and good and authentic. And that's always gonna that's always gonna that's always gonna be the most positive thing you can do at the end of the day. And I hope that your holiday season, as we go into it, is a beautiful one. I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate the holiday. Um, Again, I look forward to seeing you in December. If you would like a more in-depth reading, please don't hesitate to contact me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and that'll give you a little more detail and information about the services I offer and my contact information. And as always, I wish you blessings and a happy life, Gemini. Bye.